Hey everyone, and welcome. When we talk about immigration, our first instinct is usually to look at numbers, right? Charts, graphs, statistics. But today, we're going to do something different. We're going to explore this whole experience through a much more personal, much more human lens, the world of poetry. So let's jump right in. And we're starting right here with this absolutely powerful line from Lee Young Lee. I mean, just think about that. This isn't just a father giving his son some friendly advice. It's a history lesson, a warning, and a survival guide all packed into two lines. It tells you right away that for so many people, integration isn't just about finding a better job. It's about staying alive. And language, that's your first shield. And that idea of language as a tool leads us right into our first big theme. Because the journey into a new place, a new culture, it so often starts with the most fundamental part of your identity, your name. It's your first introduction. And, well, it's often the very first point of conflict. That one word here really gets me, exhaustion. Can you imagine? At just 7 years old, Franny Choi is already tired. Tired of the simple act of saying who you are turning into a battle. So when the poem talks about wanting to change her name to Frances, it's not just about making things easier for other people. It's about a kid's deep desire to just stop fighting that fight every single day. But then you have this, which takes it to a whole other level. Here, the name isn't just pronounced wrong, it's completely erased. They just rename him. And what do they name him? Jalapeno. Suddenly, this man's identity is gone, and he's been handed a label that's also a stereotype. His name no longer belongs to him. It's just a reflection of how other people see him. Wow. And this shows that the fate isn't just with the outside world. It actually moves inside you. Quique Aviles paints this incredible picture of a border patrol living inside his own mouth, stopping and searching his words before they can even come out. It's such a powerful way to describe that feeling of being split in two, caught between languages, between worlds, always having to translate yourself. Okay, so from that inner world of language and identity, let's zoom out. Let's talk about the real, tangible stuff of building a new life. The work you do, the family you gather, and of course, the food that ends up on the table. So check this out. This is a Thanksgiving menu from a poem called America. And it's probably not what you're picturing, is it? Yeah, you've got the turkey and pumpkin pie, but they're sitting right next to roasted pork, black beans, and yuca. This isn't just a shopping list. It's a snapshot of cultures colliding, mixing, and creating something totally new, right there on the dinner table. But that mixing of cultures, it's not always easy or happy. And one word in this quote just jumps off the page: treason. For the grandmother, this abuelita, making this very American turkey feels like she's betraying her Cuban roots. And she fakes being excited for the kids. It's this quiet, heartbreaking sacrifice that happens in the name of fitting in. And then you step outside the family dinner and things can get even tougher. Cheryl Luna gives us this gut punch of an image: unlearning America's languages with a mop. What a devastating line. It suggests that the sheer grind of survival, of grueling, low-wage work, doesn't just tire you out. It can actually silence you, erasing your identity 1 hour at a time. All right, so we have to shift gears a little here because we can't tell this story without talking about the more painful parts. Beyond the private struggles, there are these direct, unmistakable moments of hostility and suspicion, the experience of being made to feel like an outsider. And all of this really boils down to one fundamental question that just echoes through all of these poems. Is this really a country of welcome? The next few poems offer some pretty complicated and very different answers to that. So here's answer number one. The title of the poem is, ironically, "The United States Welcomes You." But listen to that welcome. It's not a greeting. It's an interrogation. It's a barrage of suspicion. The immigrant isn't being welcomed as a new neighbor. They're being treated like a threat, a potential criminal whose very existence is somehow suspect. And here's a second answer. This isn't just suspicion anymore. This is physical force. It's a memory from childhood, watching your mother get handcuffed and dragged away. The family had their papers, so they were let go. But that last line is just chilling in its simplicity. But Alvaro was going back. No explanation needed. The damage is done. Then there's this third answer, which is about something more subtle, something that's always there. Prajita Sharma calls it being the undertaste. I love that metaphor. It's like you're part of the recipe, but you're not the main flavor. It's that constant, quiet feeling that you're never going to be seen as the default neighbor, the classic American pie baker. So, where does this all leave us? What's the big takeaway? Well, what's so fascinating is that this chorus of voices isn't just describing what it's like to live in America. They're actively challenging and reshaping our whole idea of what America even is. This is so great. This poem, All American, just completely throws out the idea that you have to pick a side. Are you gay or straight? The poem says both boxes. For building a fence, but also for creating holes in it. It paints this picture of America that isn't one simple thing. It's this messy, contradictory, complicated collection of ideas all existing at the same time. And this poem really embraces that messiness. It says the beauty of this country isn't found by ignoring the brutal differences, but by finding it within them. That chaotic, vibrant energy of all these different lives bumping up against each other, well, maybe that's its own kind of love story, its own kind of urban affection. And this is a power move. This is a challenge. It's a defiant declaration that says, we're here. We're part of this country's story, and we are going to be the ones to tell it. It's about taking back the narrative and writing your own history in your own words. Which leaves us with this one last thought to chew on. If you think of America as this giant, sprawling, unfinished poem, these poets have added their verses. Verses of struggle, of joy, of confusion, of love. They've written their lines. The question now is, who gets to write the next one?